Well, good morning. It is, well, I guess it's fall. I rolled out the truck, and now we have a Jeep Wrangler that we're going to be doing some work on. It's got some rust issues. It has, they all have some rust issues. It's a Jeep thing, right? But we're going to do a little bit of rust cleanup and prevention on the frame. We are going to check out there's a shock mount that's broken, and it needs a bit of exhaust work. So we'll put this thing up on ramps and we'll just start getting into it. If you work on vehicles and you don't have a carbon monoxide detector in your shop, what are you waiting for? This is how much we've gone up. We went from 0 up to 105 parts per million just in the time it took to put that thing up on ramps. And the door to the shop was closed. So, you know, this was just for me going in and out of the door. This particular detector also watches out for flammable gases, which is why it's in this corner. Some safety things are not worth taking shortcuts on. Well, we definitely got some exhaust. We have a flow master. Not sure if that's going to be saved or not. We will see. And through a cat. And then we have a crossover pipe up at the front. And the crossover pipe is actually in fine shape. Yeah, I don't think we're going to have too much trouble pulling this off. We got some surface rust. That's mostly, for the most part, our frame rails look great. This, on the other hand, this is not so great. Now that would be a problem. Hopefully it's just the mount that's rusted out and not the actual frame rail. We will find out more in a bit. Much of this stuff where the stock undercoating is still on is actually in really good shape. All the parking brake lines, everything from the pedal back has been replaced, but the pedal assembly is apparently malfunctioning. And then we have this. And that looks kind of gnarly because that is the carpet on the inside. So, but you didn't know that Jeeps have structural carpet. Okay, like I was saying, this crossover pipe seems solid all the way through. Our headers are stainless, I guess like a 400 grade, but there is a crack up there somewhere and a pretty big exhaust leak, so we might take that on too. All in all, for a 25-year-old vehicle living in a rust-prone area, I'm quite happy with what I see. Now, time to get into it. This is just a standard V-notch bit, but I have a wedge ground on it. It works pretty good for expanding pipes where there used to be exhaust clamps. Regaining anything? Oh yeah. trying to save this cat, but it's not doing me any favors here. I guess I should have just brought the torches out to begin with. What we've got here is a failure to communicate. And now for the part that nobody wants to do. We can now pull our coolant temp sensor off here. And our throttle cable. And we can just tuck this out of the way here. So remember to put that vacuum line back on. Got our mass airflow. Alright, that'll be enough. We can just keep everything there safe. You know what makes dead blows so great? The crazy hammers. They literally have rocks in their head. Alright, that's a good start. That's really good. This one is really stiff. I think the stud's coming with us here. Unfortunately. Yep. Which means I gotta get this wrench out of here. If I still can. Yeah, it's a good thing we got nothing better to do with our time here. This could really get aggravating. So these are going to be 8s probably. Yes, they are. And we're just going to pull this drive shaft because we're going to need to get this header out of here. I may as well do it sooner than later. The best tool you can have when working on a Jeep is a can of penetrating oil. Whereas with a Ford, the best tool you can have is a lot of patience. There we go. That's good. Slides freely, not pitted. The front and back use the same hardware, same caps. You don't have to keep them separate on Jeeps, on YJs. Oh, for the love of Jeeps. Okay, Betsy, this is your moment here. stuck here. I was hoping that with the body lift I was going to have enough room that I could squiggle this out without pulling the motor mount. Pulling the motor mount's really a piece of cake. It's like 2 minutes, it's off. It's not a big deal. The problem is, not being on a hoist, I don't have the room to support the engine well. It's just going to be a little sketchy. So I guess I will pull the manifold, take it off to the top. Oh well, what do you do, right? It's not worth getting hurt over. One cool thing about some of the older Jeeps is you don't actually need any fuel disconnect tools. You can just do that. There we go. That's a sign of a good vacuum system, hey? Just look at a bolt we gotta get underneath there. So the problem is right now is just that our power steering pump is not sliding as an assembly like it's supposed to. It's probably rusted on. I hate this system that Jeep made. Stupidest idea of tensioning a belt. Right down in here, that is that mechanism there is supposed to slide. But what's happening instead is our tensioning bolt just backing right out. And this whole assembly's not pivoting like it's supposed to. We'll definitely have to fix that for reinstall. And all this is to get the 14 mil that's under here. Well, everything under here is pretty standard looking. Carboned up, but for an engine with 300,000 kilometers on it, that's nothing unusual. No evidence of head gasket leaks or any issues. Just a whole bunch of penetrating fluid running down the side of the block. So in a normal world where the earth is not flat, you would just pull the bolts off of the block here. Pull this pin right here for your motor mount. You can leave the rest of the mount on, it's fine. And you can just drop your header right through there. On you go. If you got a hoist or some way of doing it safely, which I do not right now.